Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to Purple Friends.
Welcome to Purple Friends.
I am your co-host, Joe.
I'm your co-host, Co. I almost got my name wrong.
Yeah.
Could you see it in my eyes?
I could see it. I thought you were going to say Joe.
Yep, I almost did. Anyway, welcome, everybody. We're so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us again for another episode.
There's more of you here than I thought. Last episode, maybe, or a couple episodes ago, we were talking about how there's like 19 people or something like that.
There's like 58.
Yeah,
y'all.
that's no longer true. Yeah, we got quite a few people out there. So we really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us.
Yeah, truly wild, but we're happy you're here. And we got a good one lined up for you today.
Yes, very relevant.
Yeah.
People aren't even talking about this yet. We got this for you. But first,
A little grateful.
you got this. Or should I go this?
I mean, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My little grateful is my friends. I have friends, everyone.
Brag.
I actually have a lot of friends that I'm very grateful for, and I'm going to name them because they're great.
Cool.
But I'm thinking of Alex, who's come to visit a few times from all his travels, who knows where. And I'm thinking of Astrid, who moved back from Florida. We missed her. She was gone for like 5 years. But now she's back, and I'm so happy to have her here. And then, of course, my bestie, Inez. Like, she and I just, especially it's summertime, we're always hanging out. We got kids together. So it's just like, we're down for anything, anytime, and it's great.
Yeah.
And of course, Amy. You know, Amy is a solid friend. And
Amy, who also is a therapist at Vibe Therapy
yeah,
Services.
she's a solid therapist. But yeah, I'm just feeling really grateful for my friends. I've been spending a lot of time with them, and they're great, and I love them all.
Yeah. I like your friends too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. My turn. I'm trying to decide. I have two. I think I'm going to go. Okay.
You always bring two.
I know. It's always just in case. I don't know what the just thing. Sometimes if the episode gets too heavy, I feel like I need a second one later.
Yeah,
And it usually
fair.
gets jettisoned. But okay. I'm going to pick prepping for Pride Month.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. So at Vibe, we're going to be getting involved in a couple of Pride things in our area. We're going to be at the Lombard Pride Fest and a couple other things, I think, as well. And also at my other job, we're talking a lot about like how we're going to celebrate Pride at the Garden Center and at the coffee shop where I do the marketing for them. And so it's really fun. It's especially fun working with queer people on how to celebrate this month. And I feel like so cool that I get to be a part of that. And yeah, just like getting little things to hand out from our booth and finding different ways to like connect people with charities like Young Equal and stuff like that. So it's just been really fun.
Yeah, no, it truly is. This is such a lovely time. And we are very grateful for all of our clients, our brave listeners, everyone who, you know, is in that community who we get to celebrate this week, month.
Yes. So here's your pre-Pride Pride. So yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. Just been getting to immerse myself in that.
Yeah. So let's get into it. So today we are talking about
Career truncation, which sounds so boring, but it's so important that we talk about career truncation.
please tell our listeners what the heck the word truncation means and what it means in terms of your career.
Sure. So to truncate something means to shorten something generally. So career truncation specifically is looking at this like it's a type of, I guess I would call it vocational trauma, where it's a sudden premature narrowing or complete halting of a professional path before a person has reached their expected potential. So in more plain terms, it's like what's happening to college graduates right now.
Truly. And, you know, I that can't be more accurate. I see a lot of college age students and a lot of, that can't be more accurate. I mean, I see a lot of college age students, a lot of young adults who are actively searching for jobs, careers, you know, they're where they tend to be, you know, want to see themselves for the next 5-10 years. And wow, has that been just such a challenge in so many ways. And I think Just huge part of that population is constantly experiencing anxiety and stress related, I think, to just their security in their job and what that looks like.
It's leading to this really interesting thing where corporations are trying to automate what used to be entry-level positions, leading to a complete absence of entry-level positions for graduating people to get.
And like when it was like you need X amount of experience and like no one was giving you that experience, it's like that feeling times a lot, because like any sort of experience that companies were maybe willing to give new graduates or new hires has now been completely eradicated, or like you said, automated.
Yeah. So it's like the path to like any kind of senior level is missing because there's no bottom level. Like there's nothing to start from.
Yeah. I mean, and you can imagine the type of people who can bridge that gap. You know, I think the vast majority of people cannot reach that next, bar on the ladder, and find themselves kind of stuck at this point that can feel really overwhelming, very demoralizing.
Yep.
I think can lead to, again, anxiety and depression. And as we'll talk, like we really do need to, I guess that's part of the work I do, right? Is like unmeshing their sense of identity with their career, which we'll talk about more.
Yeah, totally. Can we talk about some common misconceptions?
Of course.
Because this is a relatively new thing. I mean, this is coming along with the advent of AI. I mean, it's not totally new. I mean, automation in general has done this in the past, but this is happening at like an unbelievably extraordinary rate, and it's so unbelievably widespread right now. AI definitely kind of like lit the fire underneath it. But there's this harmful tendency to view like this happening, like if you experience career truncation, like there's this harmful tendency to view it as a personal failure or like a lack of resilience or the ability to like adapt or whatever. But the reality is like the system has changed. Like there was a huge systemic shift, and it's not a character flaw. It's like things changed.
Yeah. Many of you who might be in that population of like young adults, young graduates, and are maybe communicating some of their frustrations with their parents who are in the previous generation, might find a lot of really frustrating moments in trying to communicate that, no, you can't just work a job and do all the things that you were able to do when they had a job, right? Like I'm gonna quickly reference this post I saw actually a couple people reading it, about this guy who worked at Sears in the 90s, and how the atmosphere there and working there was actually nice. People got paid a livable wage. People were able to buy their first homes with this job, and people were able to go on vacation every year to the same place, take their 2.5 children and, their dog and wife to this vacation. So like people were able to live their lives. And, in this post, the guy mentions like Christmas bonuses were actually something, and you liked your coworkers because we all felt like we had good jobs and we felt good about them. There was no shame around it, where I do feel like on top of just like the huge gap in wage, there is now this kind of like shame or looking down upon, whether it be entry level or minimum wage jobs or service jobs, or, that really kind of, I think, one, take a beat to your identity, sense of identity, and two, I'm sure impact like workplace morale, however important that is. See, that doesn't even feel important anymore.
Yeah.
Our mental health is like so down the drain when it comes to like job security that like the idea of workplace morale is a joke.
Yeah.
Like I like literally even just talking about it now, I was like kind of being light about it, but like I don't know, even just reading this guy's post and him talking about how it was nice to work together and people had pride in their job and because they can actually do something with it.
Yeah.
It just was so clear how far we have come from that, like people spend decades at a job with very little pay bumps or pay increases, appreciation, acknowledgement. So it's and that's just the norm. That's just expected. You should be lucky, grateful for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's also this other misconception that if your field is being replaced, that you could just like take a 6-week course, get a new certification and just pivot.
Go back to school.
Yeah. Right. Like
it's that easy.
Yeah.
Just go back.
It's just like, you can't, like, not only is it not that easy, but like if your field is being automated, related fields are either also in the same bucket or they're next or whatever. Like you can't just pivot to something similar to what you did. You have to do like a whole gigantic pivot now. It's like unbelievable.
Well, and not just that, but think about the people who literally cannot.
Yeah.
Right. Like literally I know people who cannot go without a paycheck for a single week. And like
That's most of us.
Yeah. Don't have the luxury to even take a 6-week course to get certified in anything new.
Go unpaid for 6 weeks? No
Wild.
way.
Yeah. So again, the options are slim. The resources are few. So we can imagine why it can feel so heavy sometimes.
Yeah.
The final misconception, of course, is what I had mentioned earlier about this idea of your identity being linked to your sense of utility, right? Like what you can provide. We often conflate our market value with our human value. And when that task is automated, obviously these, we start to treat humans who performed this task is obsolete if it's now been automated, which can obviously lead to profound depression and a lost sense of self. This is, again, what I see a lot in the office is just like people feeling lost, not knowing what to do or where to go from there. And that can feel like such a heavy task. I think for many of us, developmentally, we go through identity development starting in, our teen years, 15-ish, well through, our mid-20s. So if you're someone who's in adulthood and has a family, this can be a huge blow. If even if you are someone who's 25 years old, like that can be really scary if these are some of your first steps into this next chapter of your life.
Yeah. Before we move on, let's pull up to the intersection. Beep, beep. And let's talk about, sorry.
Oh my God. Is this intersectionality?
Yeah, that was my transition. Maybe I'll edit that out and do a different one. Sure. Maybe I'll do the Portlandia, you go at that intersection.
Yes. I love that.
You do?
You go.
Or are you just trying to get me to move on?
No, you go.
No, you go.
No, it's okay. You go.
You go.
No, you go.
You go.
No, you go.
No, you go.
I'm not going until you go.
Okay, I'll go. Beep, beep. Okay. Not everyone's economic safety net is equal. Some of us don't even have one.
Yeah. Literally what I was just saying in the previous one.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a bit ago. Yeah.
If you have more resources, you have like a runway to take a year off and retrain in something else or do a career shift or something like that. Go back to school. If you don't have that luxury, you are forced into something else, like more of a survival job, just something that's not in your field, something that doesn't take any training that you can just get. Yeah,
the job that your parents have, right? Working with them wherever they're at, or the job that your friends have. Like, again, these, and for anyone who is maybe working on like breaking down generational trauma or barriers or curses, like this is where it can really start to feel frustrating, right? Because it's like, if you're trying to move past all that and then you find yourself in this situation where you're forced to have these survival jobs, right? Like it can really start to feel like this learned helplessness, right? Like no matter what I do, it's not gonna matter.
Right. Exactly. Another thing that's really interesting that I discovered while doing research for this episode is algorithmic bias in hiring. So companies use AI to filter this huge flux of like applications and stuff like that. So existing biases of like the people who work there or the people who built the software, their biases against like certain types of names, certain zip codes or educational backgrounds can be like baked into the software, like creating this invisible wall for anybody, in any marginalized position.
Yeah. I mean, we already know that most AI models are obviously already inherently racist and have these internalized biases because they are a reflection of us, of who uses it. So of course they're going to impact whatever systems they have in terms of filtering resumes, which is a scary thought and a really frustrating thought because it's like, how do you get past that?
You ever hear about those people who like trick the AI software by putting like little AI prompts in like 2-point font in white so that like it can't be seen by the human eye, but like it gets the AI to do something silly or like to automatically surface their resume and stuff?
Yes.
I encourage anybody who is
do
up
those
against
tactics,
AI to do whatever you have to do.
Yeah. Sweet talk the AI.
Yeah.
Bribe them with a cute little 2.5 millimeter font in white.
Exactly. Something that we talk about a lot in the job market is who you know. I mean, we haven't really even talked about this yet, but yeah, networking. Mentorship is another thing that falls under that bracket. So like who you know becomes even more important as the job market shrinks. So like if a person belongs to a community that's historically been excluded from like legacy professional networks, their path is truncated much more aggressively than someone with, you know, the inside connection, somebody who knows somebody.
Right.
So if you know somebody, you can still get a job. That's the secret of all of this.
You know, I've been hearing that for literally decades now. It truly is about who you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're in the chamber and we do a lot of marketing and a lot of like networking events, and it is helpful. It is helpful to get different perspectives, to know different people, to know what they do. Like,
because you also like, you learn that certain things exist.
Yeah.
By networking with people. Like you learn that things like in our area, the crisis recovery center exists, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. So, and not just that, but like in getting to know these people, you're like, wow, I might really connect with this person, or I might really, wow, I can really see myself doing X, doing this at their place.
We could refer clients to each other.
Yes.
You know?
So, I mean, I know it's truly a lot of effort. I mean, for anyone experiencing social anxiety, I understand why this might feel just like too much, especially when you're already burnt out. But it really can be worthwhile.
Yeah. Like looking for a professional group or something like that. That fits whatever group that you're in, that you find yourself in.
And they're easy to find. There are tons of networking groups. Google them, Facebook them, online. Yeah, they're easy to find.
Yeah.
They want you to find them.
Yes, they're looking for members for sure.
Yes. So now we're going to talk about some things that y'all can maybe take with you, you know, ways to cope when the rug has kind of been pulled out from under you, right?
Yes.
You're not doing this.
So I mentioned earlier this idea of unmeshing your identity, right? Decoupling it from this idea of your vocation. You are not what you do. There's a very capitalistic view that you provide, you know, your value is solely within what you provide. And so this exercise is where we map out our core values, right? So I value problem solving, or I value helping others. And we separate that from the actual job title, right? Software engineer, paralegal, whatever else. So this really helps us realize that while the role may be gone, the identity and the value remain intact. I think about, this is maybe irrelevant-ish, but in college, I was pre-med. And
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I switched over second semester freshman year. So like pre-med for a semester.
Oh, okay.
But I switched because I took some chemistry courses and bio courses, and I failed, and I felt like the rug was pulled out from under me, and I was like, I can never be a doctor if I'm failing. But then I realized that truly my value lied in wanting to just help people or connecting with others. And I can do that a myriad of different ways, right? I didn't have to be a doctor to do that. I could be a therapist, or I can be a teacher, or I can be a nurse, or I can be literally anything else.
Combination of several.
A combination. And so, you know, I landed on therapy, and boom, here I am.
Yeah.
But yes, you know, there are lots of things that overlap, you know, and I think what Corey mentioned earlier about the the chamber of just learning what's out there. We didn't know these things existed. Holding on to the value might open up some doors of like, oh, I never saw myself doing that, but it does align with what I value.
Yeah.
You know, so you might find yourself doing something that you wouldn't have otherwise thought.
Totally. Yeah. That kind of reminds me of my new job of like, I honestly like,
I was also thinking that.
I felt like I was never going to do marketing again. And I literally, I think I had even said to you, like, I would only ever do marketing if it was for like a local place whose values I totally aligned with. And I think like I may have even said something like a barn owl.
Yeah. I mean, truly, I feel like you were made for this job.
So, it's really quite cool. But, yeah, so it's just, think about like just creative ways to apply, like even just like a base part of what you were doing or what you were going to be doing.
Yeah. I mean, this can really be a fun opportunity, when something like that can be really overwhelming and scary, but it does kind of leave, which maybe is a good segue into talking about the grief work, right? It does kind of leave this space for you to do something different.
Yeah.
And so I talk about the grief work because I do think that that's another kind of therapeutic technique here, because it is grief work, right? If you're, having to switch careers at a moment's notice or, switch jobs, that can genuinely be a loss.
Yeah. Like if you're about to graduate college into a field that just evaporated before your eyes and you're freaking out, you're angry, you're trying to figure out a way that you can still salvage stuff, like you're grieving.
Yeah. And I quickly wanted to talk about the tasks of mourning. They're different than the stages of grief, which you might have heard of, like depression, acceptance, denial, all that.
Yeah, anger.
These are more so 4 stages that we can move in and out of.
Yeah.
And so they involve, what are they? They're essentially feeling your emotions related to the grief, right? So allowing yourself to be sad, this is truly just like crying, processing, feeling, eating ice cream about it. Then it is adjusting to a life in the new reality. And so that is this, right? That is what we're doing, right? The unmeshing of your values, the, networking, the bolstering yourself, all these therapeutic techniques, right? That's the adjusting. And then it's reinvesting in another stage of grief is reinvesting in this new reality, right? This new reality of like, okay, well, this degree I had prepped for is no longer relevant. Now I can invest in this other thing. And so this is kind of like the hope, right? That kind of propels you forward, that this is where I'm putting now my energy in. And so hopefully all of us can eventually get to that point where we are at peace with finding something new to reinvest in.
That was neat. What was that called? Not the stages of grief, but what?
The tasks of mourning.
Okay. So I think for a lot of us, myself included, this idea of like just pivoting feels impossible. Like if you're in this position and you're like, it's not that simple and you're stuck, you might be experiencing an executive dysfunction barrier. You might be so overwhelming that you literally are paralyzed. It can, every individual task can feel overwhelming. So small steps for if you're experiencing, and this is broadly applicable to any executive dysfunction barrier, is use a micro movement. So don't try to find a new career. Spend 15 minutes just identifying a transferable skill. And that's it. Just one little bite at a time.
Yep. What is that saying? How do you eat a elephant?
Yeah. One bite at a time. Elephant, airplane, whatever.
Whale.
Whale. Other big things, house.
Yeah.
The wind.
Oh my God. One bite at a time, everybody.
Yeah. That's how you eat Galactus, the Star Eater.
Yeah. And I think similarly for anyone who is experiencing stress-induced like health flare-ups, again, the anxiety of a job or of job hunting can seriously be debilitating. Focusing on the window of tolerance, which I don't know if anyone's familiar with, but essentially, think about trying to throw a free throw, right? If you are completely unaroused, hypoarousal, right? You're groggy, maybe kind of sleepy. Your heart is racing or beating very slowly.
And I am right now.
It might be very hard to get yourself to pick up a big, heavy basketball and throw it halfway across the court. It's just like, meh, right? So like, that's not going to work, right? Job hunting, working on your resume, it's not going to work when you're in that kind of arousal, that kind of state of arousal. It also isn't going to work if you're in hyper arousal, right? If you're extra anxious and overwhelmed and jittery and your heart is racing and your core temperature is sky high and your mind is racing. It's like you pick up that basketball and you overshoot it and it's like whoosh and you're like, what the heck happened?
You drop it because your hands are vibrating so much.
So like hyper arousal obviously doesn't work either. This window of tolerance is the exact optimal in-between point of I'm alert, I'm a little bit anxious, so I'm hyper focused and engaged. And boom, swish, right? Nothing but net.
Swish.
So that is the window of tolerance. And there are things that you can do to kind of help yourself get there, right? If you're noticing that you're extra overwhelmed, taking a few big, deep breaths, slowing things down can really help, or vice versa, right? If you're finding yourself a little groggy, waking yourself up, take a cold shower, have a cup of coffee, right? Like do something so that you can get yourself in that state. It's not going to happen magically, right?
Yeah.
We do have to kind of plant these seeds.
And a quick word on taking a deep breath. I know it makes you feel like a big toddler when you have to sit yourself down and take a deep breath, but it's genuinely scientifically helps.
Yeah.
So please just take that big toddler deep breath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of what we were mentioning earlier, AI and various algorithms can kind of put up a wall. Like if you're up against something that literally has something baked into it that is like being applied racistly or whatever against you, you can't really do anything about that. The way to combat stuff like that is to go back to what we said earlier and lean on the who you know aspect, is to find professional groups and to find people who can connect you. It's really just to network. It's really like that. To our socially anxious listeners, that probably sounds like a nightmare. And trust me, I completely get it. I have autism. The idea of having to go and talk about our business to people fills me with dread and it makes me clammy.
But he does it, and he does really good at it.
I do. And people, I think, know that I have autism when they talk to me. And that, I think, makes them go easy on me. So,
People are understanding, more often than not. That's my worldview. I totally understand. That's my perspective. But I think more often than not, people are nice and don't want to just come at you.
It's true. They are. I think, people are very, very chill. Mm-hmm. And especially in a professional group like that, they're looking to meet someone like you. They're looking to meet a newbie who wants to get connected. They're looking for a bright young star. And that's you. I know you're a bright young star because you listen to this podcast. There's only 50. You're the top 50 bright stars I know.
Aw.
Can we get into some hope for the future?
Oh, thank God. Please, please.
I want to add this to the podcast.
Hope for the future. I like that. A new segment?
Yeah. A whole new segment.
I love it.
Cool. So here's some hope for the future. We're getting some clinical recognition of workforce stress. So in early 2026, research have begun formally framing this psychological distress of automation as an AI replacement dysfunction. So that's sort of a pseudo diagnosis at this point, but this framework is like a major step forward. So clinicians can have this like structured screening tool to really validate this specific anxiety, and we can start to get it data on it. We can start to get it separated from generalized anxiety, and it will become its own thing that can have its own targeted support, which is a huge step in the right direction.
And exactly the point of diagnosing, right? Why we create certain diagnoses, why certain diagnoses are created is so that we can have a more streamlined conversation about it, provide general resources, and a better understanding of what we're talking about. So that is really promising, hearing about that. Mm-hmm. So thankfully, again, there's a lot of studies in early 2026 that show that while routine tasks are dropping, in terms of being automated, there's still a high demand for roles requiring high emotional intelligence, nuanced judgment, right? Like, I think we miss the nuance.
Yeah, right.
And humans are all about nuance. I always say this, we're always in the gray. It's never black and white. There is always so much nuance. So yes, there are still so many, a high demand for jobs.
Yeah, that seems to still be holding steady. That's awesome.
Yes, thankfully.
And we're also seeing sort of a collective cultural pushback against AI in general, but also against like transparency around hiring algorithms. And there's also this like growing corporate realization that human trust and creative thinking can't really be replicated by software. I hope, maybe I'm speaking a little prematurely, but it feels like people as a whole are starting to realize the grift of AI, the limitations of it, that it's not the future. Well, I mean, it could be developed into something that is the future, but in its current state, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. But it's I think we're going to see a bubble burst. I hope we see a bubble burst in the somewhat near future. But until then, keep that cultural pushback going strong, everybody.
Yeah, please. I think we need that. I mean, I feel like, again, I've seen so many things just pointing towards people wanting authentic human joy, authentic human creation, right? Like I think about Alyssa Liu's performance and how everyone was just so enamored, with her performance, or, just like people being happy and doing good human cool things that only humans can do.
Yeah.
So yes, I hope that y'all can exercise some of that today.
Yeah.
Touch some grass.
In a good way, not in a weird boomer way.
Yeah.
Can I share some listener submitted Little Gratefuls?
Please do, y'all.
These are from our Instagram, by the way.
Woohoo.
So
Thank you to everyone who commented on our Instagram post and shared Little Gratefuls.
Yeah. Last week we put out a post of our Little Gratefuls, and we encouraged everyone to post or to comment on their own Little Grateful. So if you want to get in on this, look out for that post. It'll probably come up like a week after the episode comes out. But anyway, here's the first one from Blackberry Bend Farm. Those are our friends up in down in Kentucky. They said the rain. You want to read it?
Sorry, no, I'm so sorry.
They said the rain. We've had such a dry spring, but this week it's finally been rainy. Smiley face. You want to read the next one?
By the way, they're farmers. I don't know if you can tell by their handle.
Yeah.
Which is why the rain was so exciting.
Yeah. Oh, and actually a quick note about them. They gave us some sunflower seeds last October, and I planted them like a week ago, and they are popping off.
They're really cool. I'm so excited to see what they look like.
Yeah. Thank you, Austin and Shannon. Shout out.
Yes, shout out. The next one comes to us from the Wheaton Chamber of Commerce, which we are members of.
Yeah, it was so nice of them to comment on our post.
I know. we are very grateful for your little grateful, which was that they're grateful for the great relationships. They appreciate everyone taking time out of their day to enjoy some time with them every month.
Mm-hmm. And then this last one. Oh, this is from your friend. Do you want to read this one?
Sure. This is from my friend Melissa, who just moved back into the area after a few years, and she's very grateful for her new apartment.
So thank you, everybody, for submitting your little gratefuls. We appreciate that so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. We are grateful for you.
Yeah. Oh, can I throw in my other little grateful?
Your second little grateful?
Instead of getting rid of it, my other little grateful was talking to strangers about my favorite flower, which is I get to do literally every day.
Oh, my God. What is your favorite flower?
The dahlia.
All
those different kinds of dahlias, all the colors. I love them all. Dahlias have such a cool flower structure. Oh no. I don't know what yours is. Is it one of the Animal Crossing ones?
No.
Oh, it's not Cosmos. I know which flowers you don't like. Cosmos.
In the game.
Yeah.
We're not talking Animal Crossing.
Oh, I'm sorry. In real
flowers.
Life, let me think.
Cosmos in real life are nice.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, all of them are nice.
I know.
In real
pansies
life.
In real life are really nice, and I hate them in the game. I know.
What is your favorite flower? Is it lavender?
I mean, I guess, sure. Lavender. Yes, absolutely.
That seems like not the answer you were looking for.
No, I would say like traditional flowers. I don't know why lavender just doesn't count.
It's more like
a
herb.
twig. Yeah.
A twig.
Sprig.
A sprig of twig.
A sprig of twig. Daisies.
Daisies.
You knew that.
Like the Justin Bieber song.
Oh.
You love it. Nice job, buddy. All right, I think that's our cue.
That is our cue, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. We are really grateful for you.
Yes, we are.
And we hope that you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we love you. Thank you so much. And please rate the podcast, comment on the podcast, share the podcast.
The Codpast.
The Codpast. 50 people. That rules. We love you so much. And thank you so much for getting us to 50.
Let's get us to 100.
Yeah, sure. I mean, 50 is more than I ever thought we'd have. So that's amazing.
I know. Honestly, when Corey told me the number, I was in shock.
We have more than one person per episode that we've produced.
Yay.
That's cool.
All right.
We love you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Purple Friends is an independent podcast produced by Vibe Therapy Services and is not a substitute for a session with a real therapist.
Our show art was created by me, Jocelyn Lang.
And our theme music is Nature Nurture by me, The Implied Bear.
Vibe Therapy is an Illinois-based private practice servicing clients in person at our Wheaton office and virtually throughout the state of Illinois.
We accept Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO, Aetna, and Cigna Insurance. We also offer cash pay rates, financial assistance, and free 15-minute initial consultations where you can get a feel for our practice.
Think of it as a vibe check. Therapy doesn't have to feel clinical. Visit vibetherapyservices.com today to see if we vibe.
Thanks for listening.